So, good afternoon. My name's Akos Schneider. I'm the producer of the project called The Strike, and this is Adam Breier, our director.
Good afternoon. Okay. I'm going to come a little closer. We live in a moment of crisis. Our world is in crisis, especially if you watch the media or read the newspapers. Kind of feels we don't know which country is going to go bankruptcy tomorrow. Or it seems like this week is the United States, but you never know what's going to be next week. And it kind of feels that if the world is going to dry out or get frozen, it all depends. And the other feeling that we get from the media is that we shouldn't be worried about this. We should just keep on going with this without any worries, and this is all right. And the wife of our protagonist also feels like this, and she's worried about building a new garden in their house, so that he takes his husband to choose a new fountain. Our protagonist is called Gabor. So they go to choose a fountain, but our protagonist feels a little different about this. So one day, Gabor wakes up, and instead of getting out of bed, he kind of puts his leg out of bed, but then pulls it back, and he just doesn't feel like getting out and continue his life as he would do normally. His wife doesn't understand. The wife looks at him and kind of asks what's going on. He can't answer. The daughter comes in. The daughter kind of understands it more and lies down next to him and tries to bring him back, but he's just too ashamed to communicate with him. The family dog comes in and licks his face, but he doesn't want to react to anybody. They have to go on with their life, so the wife and the daughter go to work, the daughter goes to school, and Gabor stays in bed. The TV is the thing that gets him out of the bed. There's the news on, and in the news they talk about a whale who got stuck on the beaches of Japan, and hundreds of Greenpeace workers trying to push the whale back to the water, but it's just impossible. And Gabor gets out of the bed and looks at the TV and somehow identifies with that heavy whale who just can't move at all. And he's looking at this thing and he feels the same. He feels similar. He looks out the window and looks at the garden workers making the fountain. And he kind of asks himself, that's why I should go to work, that's what I should do. So he starts to pack up random things, what he finds on his way out, gets in his car, and drives towards the capital and drives to the airport. As soon as he gets to the airport, they tell him that the airport is on strike, that no flights, no way of getting out of here. And surprisingly, he even identifies with this problem. He can understand what does it mean to fight, to ask for higher wages, to ask for things and nobody cares. So he understands the strike, but he's stuck. He doesn't know where to go, so he drives out of the airport, and there's the big plate saying his hometown name and 168 kilometers and capital Budapest 3 kilometers. So he still has the decision to go back or go forth, and he turns right. He turns to the capital and goes to the capital. He wants to isolate. He doesn't know how to connect in this thing. So he rents an apartment, a really small, crappy apartment, but the outside world just doesn't want him to be isolated. The media keeps on talking about the crisis, which he kind of feels that it's similar to his own crisis. His neighbor is doing something which gives a strange metallic voice, which scares him. When he throws away his SIM card from his mobile and goes down to a phone booth to call his wife that he wants to get a divorce, and there he meets a woman who supposedly knows him and kind of drags him into her life. And there's a movement called The Movement, which is a youth movement to find alternative ways of making society a better place. It even seems like that his new identity starts to work when the birthday of his daughter kind of brings him back to home and kind of makes him miss his old identity and miss his family. So this is the conflict of the film. his new identity and his old one fighting against each other. I won't tell you the whole story, so you have something to come back hopefully next September to Venice. The idea of this movie is coming from my father's story, because when I was a child, my father kind of did a similar thing. He moved out of our house for a year, and we didn't really know what's going on with him or why. And just one day he came back, which is similar what happens here, so I kind of spoiled the ending. I'm gonna let now Akos to talk more about practical thing of the production.
Thank you. So we intend to realize this movie through our production company, AZT Media. It's located in Budapest, Hungary. We've produced many short films, commercials, animation, documentary. We produced a feature film and a feature documentary. Our feature film was called Meanwhile in Budapest. For this project, The Strike, we think about shooting in 25 days. And the locations will be based in Budapest, Hungary. And we managed to find the crucial locations for free. In terms of cast, you can see our lead actor on our mood board. His name is Robert Kardos, sorry. Adam worked with him before. I was a producer on that project, and Adam was the director. The rest of the cast we signed on with some supporting actors as well. About the crew, we basically would like and can work with the crew whom we have worked before. They are all well-experienced professionals. The DOP, the music composer, the editor, they are all professionals who have done lots of features and commercials before. And our art director might be Adam's brother, who's also an experienced art director. And I think lastly we can mention that we met, me and I met Adam like 7 years ago. I was an assistant director and he was a director, and later on I became a production manager and recently a producer, and hopefully this feature can continue our working relationship.
Just one more thing. Like, although the media keep on telling us to keep on going, and that's how economy and society works, that keep on going, and whatever, if the person next to you drops dead, just keep on going, you cannot stop. Yes, I think that we can stop, we can go on a strike, even if it's just a 1 minute, and think about as if, how would it be if life would be different, how can we make it better? I think that's what our protagonist is thinking about. Thank you.
Thanks for the attention.